Welcome to Consult Your Attorney with Dyer Immigration. I'm Isaac Adams, one of the attorneys here at Dyer Immigration, and I'm here with Cesar Ramirez, one of our other attorneys. And today we're going to talk about the recent decision by Attorney General Jeff Sessions that's affected many cases that deal with asylum, especially with asylum and victims of domestic violence and general gang violence. So does this decision, does it mean that if I'm a victim of domestic violence that I can no longer qualify for asylum?
Well, Isaac, not necessarily. What this does mean is that it complicates winning asylum. However, there is a long-standing precedent in asylum law which says that each case should be analyzed by the courts through their own merits. And just because it's more difficult to qualify due to domestic violence, it does not necessarily mean that you won't qualify through other means.
And what about those who are victims of generalized gang violence or some kind of gang threats in their home countries?
Yes. So similarly as to people who have been victims of domestic violence, people who have been afflicted by gang violence can find other ways to qualify for asylum. They're not completely barred, and it's best to consult with an attorney to see if there are other paths to help in this regard.
When does the Attorney General's decision become effective?
The decision is effective immediately.
So Cesar, is this decision final?
Not necessarily. As we know, the Attorney General heads the Department of Justice, and which has control over the immigration courts. However, the process is still being subject to appeal by different organizations, so the decision is not necessarily final.
If somebody's filed a U visa case or they've filed to adjust status through VAWA and through other causes that are based in domestic violence, are their cases going to be affected by this decision?
No. So the Attorney General's decision affects asylum cases, which are completely different from U visa and VAWA cases. So people who have U visa, VAWA cases pending should not be afraid that they are no longer eligible for this relief. It has not affected those kinds of cases in any way.
And if this case has made it so that I no longer qualify for asylum, what are my options?
Well, the most prudent and the best option would be to consult an attorney to determine if there are other means to help. Asylum law is not the only form of relief available to people. There are other, it's best to consult with an attorney to explore other options to see if relief can be obtained through other means.
And as you explained, this decision doesn't necessarily mean that an asylum claim that's already pending may not qualify anymore.
No, not necessarily. Again, each case is different, and it's best to consult with an attorney to determine whether there are still other motives for which you could still qualify to obtain asylum.
Well, perfect. Thank you so much, Cesar, for your help today, and thank you to everyone for joining us for Consult Your Attorney today, and we'll see you again on another segment of Consult Your Attorney.